Good morning, students. Here, this is the fifth lesson, The 100 Dresses, written by Elnor Este. Actually, the short is Elboster Esther. Now, here, Elnor Este, it's about the author, was born in 9th May 1906 and expired on July 15th, 1988. Was an American children's author and a children's librarian. Her book Ginger Pie, which he also created illustrations for too, won the Newbery Medal. Three of her books were Newbery Honor winners, and one was awarded the Lewis Carroll Shelf Award. Yesterday's books were based on her life in small town. So here, next we'll see about the summary. We'll see about the summary of the lesson. This is about a small girl who is who has a fantasy for wearing 100 dresses in her life, but she is a poor girl. She is from Poland. She comes to America and she goes to school with the American students, and they are their classmates. Two of their classmates are naughty ones. They are making very much, they're mocking at her, making fun of her, and because she wears a single dress only every day, the same dress, and her name is Wanda. Now this name is also making their classmates so funny, and this her desire to wear 100 dresses she expresses through a competition, drawing competition held at her school. It has been expressed, so that is why the lesson name is the 100 dresses. Now see here, we will get into the lesson. Hope you understood this. Before you read, how do we judge the people around us? By their money. See, social status is through money, wealth and possessions. Not only this, but also by the dress we wear. So, or is there something of more enduring value to look for in a person? Enduring, more increasing value, which we look into a person. This story is a sensitive account of how a poor young girl is judged by her classmates. So, how the classmates are treating her. That is the story. Wanda Petrovsky is a young Polish means she is from Poland, girl who goes to school with other American children in an American town. These other children see Wanda as different in many ways. So she is from Poland, as it is, she is looking different from the Americans. One thing. Then they feel her name is funny, and then the third thing is her dressing sense is also funny. So can you guess how they treat her? Read the information in the box below. Find out more about this community or about a related topic from an encyclopedia or the internet. If you want more information about this, you can collect. Now, see in the box, we will see what it is given. The Polish American community in the United States. The first Polish means immigrants from, they are immigrants from Poland and immigrants to America. So, Polish immigrants arrived in America in 1608. But the largest wave of Polish immigration occurred in the early 20th century. So, when more than 1 million Poles migrated to the United States, 1 million people, they came from Poland to America. So, the Polish state did not exist at that time. So, that time there was no Poland, and the immigrants were identified according to their country of origin rather than to ethnicity, means according to their ethics, but not like that. They were rather, they were they were grouped under their, from which country they were coming. They were identified as Russian Poles, German Poles, and Austrian Poles. So the Poland people who have been in Russia, who have been in Germany, who have been in Australia, like that they differentiated, categorized them. So one of the most notable Polish American communities is in Chicago and its suburbs. So suburb means the connections. So Chicago is sometimes called the second largest Polish, means the more amount of Poland people are living city in the world, next only to Warsaw, the capital of Poland. So Polish Americans were sometimes discriminated against in the United States. Discriminated, they were differentiated and treated badly in the Americans. Recently, we had a news also about how the whites killed the blacks, like that. So as were the Irish, Italians, and the Jews. Now, according to the United States 2000 census, 667,414. So, how will you say that? 6,000, 6,67,414 Americans of age 5 years and older reported Polish as the language spoken at home. So they said only they are speaking the Polish language from Poland they are. So which is about 1.4% of the people who speak languages other than English. So they are giving you a census of how many people spoke English, how many people speak Polish. So or 0.2% of the US population. Now the next thing, see, today, Monday, Wanda Petrosky. So the girl that's on a fine Monday, she's coming to school. Wanda Petrosky was not in her seat, but nobody, not even Peggy and Madeline, they both are the naughtiest students in class who always pick upon Wanda. Not even Peggy and Madeline, the girls who started all the fun, noticed her absence, so she was missing in her seat in the class. Usually, Wanda sat in the next seat next to the last seat, in the last row in the room 13. So, room number 13, she was sitting in the last row. So, she sat in the corner of the room where the rough boys who did not make good marks sat. So, all the naughties, the rogues will be there, the heroes, so-called heroes of the class, heroes, they all were sitting at the back bench. Next to them, she was sitting. The corner of the room where there was most scuffing of feet. Scuffing of feet means noisy dragging movements of the feet on the ground. Usually last benches do that. Most roars of laughter when anything funny was said, and most mud and dirt on the floor. Always they are going on scratching their shoes on the floor. So in this situation, she was sitting there. Wanda did not sit there because she was rough and noisy. Because of that, she did not sit there. On the contrary, on the opposite, she was very quiet and rarely said anything at all. She was a quiet girl, means she was opposite to the boys who were sitting in the last bench, and she was very quiet girl. And nobody had ever heard her laugh out aloud. So she never laughed loudly also. Sometimes she twisted her mouth into a crooked sort of smile, but that was all. So she used to twist her mouth for a slight smile only, and not more than that. So nobody knew exactly why Wanda sat in that seat, unless it was because she came all the way from Boggins Heights and her feet were usually caked with dry mud. Caked means you'll have cracks because of the mud. Okay, and Boggin Heights means it is the place where she is living. But no one really thought much about Wanda Petrosky once she sat in the corner of the room. So nobody thought why she's sitting. Means she was a unwanted piece of thing in the class. Nobody notices her. Nobody even keeps friendship with her. Nothing. She was all alone in the last bench. The time when they thought about Wanda was outside the school hours. At noon time, when they were coming back to school, or in the morning early before school began, when groups of two or three or even more would be talking and laughing on their way to the schoolyard. That is how children enjoy in the interval time, lunch time, and also when they come to school, go back to school. Like this, pupils were standing and enjoying. Then sometimes they waited for Wanda. So, see, when you want to make fun of somebody, when you want to bully somebody, we wait for them to come. Like that, sometimes they used to wait for Wanda to have fun with her. The next day, Tuesday, so Monday, all this explanation is given. Tuesday, Wanda was not in school either, and nobody noticed her absence again because she was an unwanted piece in the class. Nobody saw her, and nobody has noticed that whether she came to school or not. So, what happened was, then sometimes they waited for Wanda. Yeah. And but on Wednesday, Peggy and Maddie, who sat down front with other children who got good marks and who did not track in a whole lot of mind. So they went and said on Wednesday, they went and sat near the rankers and did notice that Wanda wasn't there. They did not notice that Wanda was there or not. Peggy was the most popular girl in the school. Peggy was a very popular schoolmate. She was a well-to-do girl in the school, and she was pretty, beautiful also. She had many pretty clothes, and her hair was curly. She had pretty clothes also. Means she comes from a wealthy family, and Maddie was her closest friend. The reason Peggy and Maddie noticed Wanda's absence was because Wanda had made them late to school. Late to school means they've been waiting that Wanda will come, but she did not come. They want to make fun of her. Because of that reason, they were late to school. Now they had waited and waited for Wanda to have some fun with her, and she just hadn't come. They often waited for Wanda Petrosky to have fun with her. Come to the next part. Wanda Petrosky, most of the children in the room, 13 did not have names like that. So nobody have, they're all Americans. They have very, what to say, American style names, stylish names. But this name was a different name in the class. They had names easy to say, like Thomas, Smith, or Allen. So there was one boy named Bounce, Willie Bounce, and people thought that was funny, but not funny in the same way that Petrosky was. So there was a boy called Willie Bounce. That was also like bouncing, they used to tease him, but that was not so funny as Petrosky, it seems. So they started, kidding only Wanda. So Wanda didn't have any friends. She came to school alone. So she came to school all alone and went home alone. She always wore a faded blue dress that didn't hang right. Hang right means didn't fit her properly. And it was clean, but it looked as though it had never been ironed properly. So it was not pressed properly. Same blue faded dress she used to wear every day. But note this point, the dress was cleanly washed. Even though she was wearing every day, it was clean. She didn't have any friends, but a lot of girls talked to her. So a lot of girls were talking, but she didn't have any friends. Sometimes they surrounded her in the schoolyard as she stood watching the little girls play hopscotch on the worn hard ground. So she even when they are playing, she'll stand in one corner and watch them because she has no friends and nobody invited her for playing and nobody wants to listen to her and they don't include her in the game also. Now hopscotch means a game in which children hop into and over squares marked on the ground. Okay, so that's the oldest game. When I have played, when you people would have played. So Wanda, Peggy would say in a most courteous manner as though she were talking to Miss Mason. So she was talking who Wanda, Peggy would call her. Peggy is the friend of this girl who is at Maddie. Sorry, Peggy, the wealthiest girl. So she used to call her and talking to Miss Manson, Wanda, she had to say, giving one of her friends a nudge. Nudge means a gentle push, means she's making fun of Wanda. So she's saying what she's going to pick her, she's going making others to listen. Tell us, how many dresses did you say you had hanging up in your closet? In your closet means the wardrobe where you hang your dresses. Now she's saying, how many dresses you said you are having in your wardrobe, Wanda? 100, Wanda would say. Wanda said 100 dresses because that's her fantasy, that's her liking, that's her dream, everything. So 100 exclaimed all the little girls incredulously, means showing unwillingness to believe. Unbelievable, incredulously, unbelievably. And the little ones would stop playing hopscotch and listen. And then others also listening. 100 dresses are what an unusual thing. Hey, 100 all lined up. So everybody came near to Wanda and they started making fun. Said Wanda. Then her thin lips drew together in silence. Then she'll feel ashamed to talk more and she closes her mouth. What are they like? All silk? I bet, said Peggy. Peggy's making fun. Oh, all the 100 dresses you have of silk? Hey, all silk, all colors, velvet too. See how she's making fun. Hey, velvet too. Again, she's asking her. 100 dresses, Wanda? Would repeat sturdily. Sturdily means not showing any feeling. All lined up in my closet. So she's saying all lined up in my home in the closet. Then they would let her go. After saying this, they will leave her and she'll go. And then before she would gone very far, they couldn't help bursting into shrieks and peals of laughter. Shrieks and peals means they'll laugh, bursting of heavy laughter, and they will start laughing very badly after she goes. 100 dresses, obviously, the only dress Wanda has was the blue one she wore every day. So they started laughing and making fun because she was wearing only the blue, pale blue, faded dress every day. So, why did she say she had 100? What a story. How many shoes did you say you had? 60 pairs, all lined up in my closet. So she's saying, I have 100 dresses matching to the type. 60 pairs means how many? 120 single shoes she's having at home in her closet. So cries of exaggerated politeness greeted this, all alike. So she's saying, all are same. All my dresses, all my shoes are in the same fashion. Oh no, every pair is different. All colors, all lined up. She's when they are asking her in a politeness. See, politely they will talk to her, collect the details, and then with that they will make fun of her. So they are asking all. You mean of the same color and same design? Sorry, she's saying, oh no, every pair is different, all colors and all lined up. Means laced or something like the decorated. Peggy, who had thought up this game, and Maddie, her inseparable friend, means a very close friends, were always the last to leave. Means they every day wait there, they come late, and also evening they go late for what? Their only duty is to catch hold of Wanda and tease her. Finally, Wanda would move up the street, her eyes dull and her mouth closed, hitching her left shoulder. Hitching means shaking her left shoulder every now and then in the funny way she had, finishing the walk to school alone. So she will close her mouth with the dull eyes and hitching her left shoulder. She used to go away home. Peggy was not really cruel, so Peggy was not a cruel girl. She protected small children from bullies. Bullies means those who used to use their strength or power to frighten weaker peoples. So what they are doing, they are bullying. So she used to save them from getting bullied. So and she cried for hours if she saw an animal mistreated. So all this she was not bearing. She was not able to bear. Who? Peggy. If anybody had said to her, "Don't you think that it is cruel way to treat Wanda?" she would have been very surprised. Cruel? Why did the girl say she had 100 dresses? So I'm not cruel to her. She only said she's having 100 of dresses. And then anybody could tell that that was a lie. So actually 100 dresses nobody can have. It's a lie. Why did she want to lie? And she wasn't just an ordinary person. Else why did she have a name like that? Anyway, they never made her cry. So anything, the 100 dresses or the faded dress she's wearing or anything did not make her cry. As for Maddie, this business was asking Wanda every day how many dresses and how many hats and how many this and how many that she had been. She was bothering her. So only this girl, Maddie, used to go on picking her. Peggy at least feels sorrow, but she is scared. She's not able to advise Maddie because she is scared that she lose her friendship. So she is keeping it, but internally in her heart, she feels that it is very bad to pick somebody like this. So Maddie was poor herself, so she usually wore somebody's hand-me-down clothes. Hand-me-down clothes means old clothes handed down by someone else. See your old clothes you bring on Christmas gifts and you give no for the poor people like that. We give brush, we give powder like that. Old dresses also we used to give. So that is the thing that is called hand me down clothes. So she used to wear clothes like that, not like Wanda who was wearing the only dress. Now, thanks goodness, she didn't live up on Boggins Heights or have a funny name. So she's saying only I'm getting dresses from the people and wearing, but I don't have a funny name, and I'm not coming from a funny place called Boggins Heights. So sometimes when Peggy was asking Wanda those questions in that mocking, polite voice, Maddie felt embraced and studied the marbles in the palm of her hand. So, in the marbles means the lines in her hand and rolling them around and saying nothing as well means scratching her hand in meaning to reduce her tension means that is she cannot say anything to her friend but she doesn't want she doesn't like the fun she's making of Wanda. Now, not that she felt sorry for Wanda exactly. She would never have paid any attention to Wanda if Peggy hadn't invented the dresses game. So why this girl is playing a game? Why she has to tell lie that she's having 100 dress? Only this point everybody got confused. So she was not bothered about that. But suppose Peggy and all the others started on her next. She wasn't as poor as Wanda, perhaps, but she was poor. She's not very poor. She was not so poor like Wanda, but she was poor. Of course, she would have more sense that to say she had 100 dresses. Still, she would not like for them to begin on her. She wished Peggy would stop teasing Wanda Petrosky. So she wished in the heart only. She's not having any courage to tell her that don't do this. Next, today, even though they had been late to school, Maddie was glad she had not had to make fun of Wanda. Now she worked at her So today, even though they are late to school, who Peggy and Maddie. So Maddie was glad she had not had to make fun of Wanda. She worked her arithmetic problems absent-mindedly. Eight times eight. Let's see. She wished she had the nerve to write Peggy a note. Okay. So 8 times 8, like that, she was calculating arithmetic, and she wished she had the nerve to write a Peggy means write Peggy a note. So she wants her to write a note because she knew she never would have the courage to speak right out to Peggy to say, "Hi Peg, let's stop asking Wanda how many dresses she has." So she wants to ask, but she's not able to. So stop asking Wanda how many dresses she has. When she finished her arithmetic, she did start a note to Peggy. Suddenly she paused and shuddered. Shuddered means she stopped her. She pictured herself in the schoolyard, a new target for Peggy and the girls. Target means here a person deliberately chosen for attack means to make fun of. And the girls. Peggy might ask her where she got the dress that she had on. And Maddie would have to say that it was one of Peggy's old ones that Maddie's mother had tried to disguise. So it was Maddie's dresses also was given to Peggy only. So tried to disguise new trimmings, so no one in room 13 would recognize it. So only Peggy would decide of her own accord to stop having fun with Wanda. Oh, well, Maddie ran her hand through her short blonde hair, as the blonde hair means you have seen girls show, I mean, leaving their hand inside the hair and showing off. So, like that, she's saying blonde means the colored hair, a short curly hair, as though to push the uncomfortable thoughts away. What difference it makes? Slowly, Maddie tore into bits the note she had started. So, something she started writing that she tore into pieces. She was Peggy's best friend, and Peggy was the best liked girl in the whole room. Peggy could not possibly do anything that was really wrong, she thought. Means she was not able to express to her friend Maddie, or at least to teach her that whatever she was doing wrong. As for Wanda, she was just some girl who lived up on Boggins Heights and stood alone in the schoolyard. So, according to her opinion, Wanda was a lonely, solitary girl. She comes from Boggins Heights and she sits alone in the school. She scarcely even said anything to anybody. The only time she talked was in the schoolyard about her 100 dresses. Maddie remembered her telling about one of her dresses, pale blue with colored trimmings. Sorry. And she remembered another that was brilliant jungle green with a red sash. See how she is doing. Means she's painting, you can see in the picture. So her coloring also was matching very beautifully. You would look like a Christmas tree in that show. She said, green? Jungle green with red rash? Then you will become a Christmas tree. The girls had said in pretending admiration, pretended not real. So, thinking about Wanda and her 100 dresses all lined up in the closet, Maddie began to wonder who was going to win the drawing color contest. So, there was some competition of drawing competition, and she was thinking who is going to win that. For girls, this contest consisted of designing dresses, and for boys, of designing motorboats. Probably Peggy would win the girls' medal. Peggy drew better than anyone else in the class. At least that's what everybody thought. She could copy a picture in a magazine or some film star's head so that you could almost tell who it was. So she was a very perfect artist. She was able to draw the pictures of human face also. Oh, Maddie was sure Peggy would win. Well, tomorrow the teacher was going to announce the winners, then they would know. So tomorrow they're going to announce, and Peggy also. Peggy is the best artist, so everybody thought the prize will go to Peggy. The next day it was drizzling, slight rain. So Maddie and Peggy hurried to school under Peggy's umbrella. So they came to school using Peggy's umbrella. And naturally, on a day like this, they didn't wait for Wanda Petrosky on the corner of Oliver Street. So every time they used to wait near the Oliver Street, and now today they don't want. The street that far away under the railroad tracks and up the hill led to Boggins Heights. So they know the route also from where Wanda was coming, and they wanted to catch her. Anyway, they weren't taking chances on being late today because today was important because the results of the drawing competition was to be announced. Do you think Miss Mason will announce the winners today? Asked Peggy. Oh, I hope so. The minute we get in, said Maddie, of course you'll win, Peg. Hope so, said Peggy eagerly. So Maddie is saying, hey, every year you're only getting the praise, you're the good artist in class. Definitely this year also it will come to you. The minute they entered the classroom, they stopped short and gasped. Means that much they are running and coming, the gasping for breath. So there were drawings all over the room. On every ledge and windowsill, dazzling colors and brilliant, lavish designs all drawn on great sheets of wrapping papers. So she took the wrapping papers and she has drawn beautiful dresses with beautiful colors with the different designs you can see in the picture. Lavish means very grand. So there must have been 100 of them all lined up, kept one after the other. These must be the drawings for the contest. They were. Everybody stopped and whistled or murmured admiringly as they entered. They saw all the pictures and they were admiring it. As soon as the class had assembled, Miss Mason announced the winners. Jack Beggles had won for the boys, and she said, and his design for an outboard motor was on exhibition in room 12. So that much it has gained thing, and it was kept in the room number 12, along with the sketches by all the other boys. So as for the girls, she said, although just one or two sketches were submitted by most, one girl and room 13 should be proud of her. This one girl actually drew 100 designs, all different and all beautiful. So she's saying, see, other all the girls they drew only one picture, but one single girl alone, she drew 100 pictures of different dresses, of different colors, of different patterns and different design. And it was so beautiful. She should feel proud for that. So, in the opinion of the judges, any one of the drawings is worthy of winning the prize. So they'll call judges to give prize for the competition. I'm very happy to say that Wanda Petrosky is the winner of the girls medal. So the medal this year has gone from Peggy to Wanda Petrosky. So she's saying, I'm very happy that this girl is getting the prize for the competition because her designs and her thing was beautiful. Unfortunately, Wanda has been absent from school for some days and is not here to receive the applause that is due to her. So, Wanda is absent from school for some days and she's not here to receive her what to say prize. And what happened? Let's hope she will be back tomorrow. Now, class, you may file around the room quietly and look at her exquisite drawings. So, teacher is saying now sit quietly or move around in circles and see her beautiful drawings. And then exquisite means extremely beautiful and well made. The children bursted at the exquisite drawings and the children burst into applause. So they all started clapping. And even the boys were glad to have a chance to stamp on the floor because they usually do that, naughty boys. Put their fingers in their mouths and whistle. Though they were. So the children burst into applause, and even the boys were glad to have a chance to stamp on the floor, but their fingers in their mouths and whistle. So they always so happy to see this. So they were not interested in dresses. They're not interested, but they're encouraging the painting of somebody else. Look, Peg, whispered Maddie. There's that blue one she told us about. Isn't it beautiful? See there, she has painted a blue dress, what she always speaks to us about, and that is very beautiful. Yes, said Peggy. And here's that green one, and here is the green one. Boy, and I thought I could draw. So she said, even I wanted to draw the way she has drawn. It was excellent, beautiful. So, a girl who has been made fun of so far, who has been neglected, who has put solitary in class, has so much of what is that? She has so much of talent in herself, by which she showed her talent and her desire, her imagination, her fantasy. Today in the competition, it became real, and as though she, even though she's not having 100 dresses, what was fixed in her mind, she put it on the sheets with beautiful colors and beautiful designs, and she has won the prize. So, though a girl is very quiet, she looks abnormal. Talent is hidden inside all the children. So don't judge a book by its cover. That is the meaning of this lesson. So she was the excellent in class. With this, your lesson is over. Part 1. Any doubt, text